The Israeli-Palestinian conflict, a deeply rooted struggle. The history of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict traces back to the late 19th century when Zionists sought to establish a homeland for the Jewish people in Ottoman-controlled Palestine. The Balfour Declaration of 1917, issued by the British government, endorsed the idea of a Jewish homeland in Palestine, which led to an influx of Jewish immigrants to the region. Following World War II and the Holocaust, international pressure mounted for the establishment of a Jewish state in Palestine, leading to the creation of Israel in 1948. The establishment of Israel and the war that followed and preceded it led to the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians who became refugees, sparking a decades-long conflict between Israel and the Palestinian people. 1. The Palestinians seek to establish their independent state in at least a part of historic Palestine. Israeli defense of its borders, control over the West Bank, the Egyptian-Israeli blockade of the Gaza Strip, and Palestinian internal politics currently make this goal out of reach. Numerous peace negotiations have taken place over the years, but a lasting peace agreement has remained elusive. The conflict has been marked by violence, including terrorist attacks by Palestinian militants and military operations by Israel. The United States and other countries have played a key role in attempting to broker peace, but many obstacles remain, including the issue of Israeli settlements in the West Bank, the status of Jerusalem, and the ultimate fate. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is a complex and deeply rooted issue with a long history of tensions, disputes, and violence. It involves a multitude of factors, including historical, religious, political, and social dimensions. While I can provide an overview of some key aspects of the conflict, summarizing the entire history, causes, and consequences in a word essay is beyond the scope of this platform. However, I can offer a more comprehensive summary of the conflict and its underlying issues. Of Palestinian refugees. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Party Popper here, we explore a world of knowledge, entertainment, and inspiration. Join our community, hit that subscribe button, and let's embark on a journey together. Television. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is a complex and deeply rooted issue with a long history of tensions, disputes, and violence. It involves a multitude of factors, including historical, religious, political, and social dimensions. While I can provide an overview of some key aspects of the conflict, summarizing the entire history, causes, and consequences in a 10,000-word essay is beyond the scope of this platform. However, I can offer a more comprehensive summary of the conflict and its underlying issues. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict, a deeply rooted struggle. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is a protracted and highly contentious dispute over land, borders, sovereignty, and the rights of two peoples, the Israelis and the Palestinians, in the Eastern Mediterranean. It has deep historical and religious roots and has resulted in decades of violence, suffering, and political deadlock. Historical background. The conflict's historical roots can be traced back to the late 19th and early 20th centuries when Jewish immigrants, often fleeing persecution in Europe, began to settle in the region then known as Palestine, which was under Ottoman rule. The Zionist movement, which aimed to establish a Jewish homeland, gained momentum during this period. Balfour Declaration and British Mandate. During World War I, the British issued the Balfour Declaration in 1917, expressing support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. After World War I, Britain was granted a mandate by the League of Nations to administer Palestine. Post-World War II. The Holocaust during World War II added urgency to the establishment of a Jewish state, leading to increased Jewish immigration to Palestine. In 1947, the United Nations proposed a plan to partition Palestine into separate Jewish and Arab states with an international administration for Jerusalem. The 1948 war and the creation of Israel. The United Nations plan was accepted by Jewish leaders but rejected by Arab leaders, leading to the 1947 to 1949 Arab-Israeli War. After the war, Israel declared independence in 1948, leading to the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians in what they call the Nakba, or a catastrophe. The 1967 Six-Day War. The 1967 Six-Day War resulted in Israel's occupation of the West Bank, Gaza Strip, Sinai Peninsula, and Golan Heights. This occupation intensified tensions and further complicated the conflict. Oslo Accords and failed peace processes. The 1993 Oslo Accords initiated a peace process, but subsequent negotiations failed to reach a final settlement. Issues such as borders, the status of Jerusalem, the rights of Palestinian refugees, and security concerns remained unresolved. Current state of the conflict. As of my last knowledge update, in September 2023, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict continues with periodic outbreaks of violence, including wars in 2008 to 2009, 2012, and 2014, as well as recurring clashes and tensions in the West Bank and Gaza Strip. The conflict remains a significant international issue, with both sides blaming each other for the lack of a resolution. Key issues. Several core issues contribute to the intractability of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Borders. Disputes over the borders of Israel and a potential Palestinian state. Jerusalem. Competing claims to Jerusalem as the capital of both Israel and a future Palestinian state. Refugees. The right of return for Palestinian refugees who were displaced during the 1948 war. Security. Ensuring the security and safety of both Israelis and Palestinians. Settlements. The construction of Israeli settlements in the West Bank is a contentious issue for Palestinians. Hamas. The presence and actions of Hamas, a Palestinian militant group in the Gaza Strip, further complicate peace efforts. Prospects for peace. Efforts to resolve the conflict have seen many setbacks, but international organizations and diplomats have not given up. The two-state solution, which envisions the coexistence of Israel and a future Palestinian state, remains a widely endorsed framework for a resolution. However, it faces significant challenges, including political divisions among Palestinians, political shifts in Israel, and the changing dynamics in the region. Conclusion. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is a complex and deeply rooted issue with historical, religious, political, and social dimensions. A comprehensive examination of the conflict requires a nuanced understanding of its history and the multifaceted factors contributing to the ongoing dispute. While a 10,000-word essay could delve deeper into each aspect of the conflict, it is essential to recognize that resolving the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is a challenging and ongoing process, one that involves many stakeholders and requires a commitment to peace, diplomacy,